Welcome back to Gear and Beer. Toast, sir. Today's guest is Mark Lettieri of Menlo Park, California, now a Fort Worth, Texas resident. Mark, how the dang heck are you, man?
I'm good. I had a little jet lag, that 1 hour and 20-minute flight.
Man, it is DFW a tough one. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
Just get into my zone. Put my head on the tray table.
Dude, you could probably mix half a song on that plane flight.
I did a little bit of work. I did a little bit of video editing so that I could post an Instagram video. That's about the extent of the video editing capabilities that I have.
Well, everyone that watches this will most certainly be a follower of yours already. Well, if you are not, and I highly recommend the follow.
Oodles of Noodles.
Oodles of Noodles.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Truly, you use that one.
I may have it at some point. Labels out. We need that sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, let's or maybe Victoria contact us.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. So, you came in town to do a little session and you made time for us, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You brought your signature PRS, fairly new signature PRS. I look forward to getting my very clean hands, actually.
Well, it's meant for players, so if you got dirty hands, probably sounds better.
Well, if it's meant for players, I'll make a couple calls, see if I can get one over here.
Okay.
And you brought your board, and we'll talk about all that crap.
Sweet.
My first question for you is, I know you're doing a Europe thing soon, right?
Well, yeah, that's the plan. So far, it's still happening. So yeah. Okay. Well, as of today, as of the recording of this podcast.
Typical Denmark and.
No, this one's a little bit condensed. It's primarily Italy and then 2 shows in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And we're it's COVID tour, so there's places we can't go.
Right. Well,
it is what it is. So
I haven't actually looked into what the travel precautions or restrictions even are.
Yeah, I think it's varying per country at this point.
Right.
So yeah, the majority of it is in Italy, and then
How many dates in Italy?
I think they're still finalizing a couple dates. I think it'll be maybe max 11 shows.
That's cool though.
But it's maybe like 6 in Italy. I think right now it's like 6 or 7 in Italy. I think there is 1 in Paris and then 2 in the UK. So
that's dope, dude.
Yeah.
Who's playing with you?
It's Wes Stevenson on bass, Tehran Lockett on drums,
dope.
And Daniel Porter on keyboards.
Oh, okay, yeah. He just recently kind of started playing with you, right? I hadn't seen.
He's been doing it for about a little over a year now. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it'd be good to get back on the road. I'm sort of like, I've been traveling a fair amount, but everything's been like, a day here, a day there, 2 days there. So this will be the first time I've been away from home for 2 weeks, which kind of sounds crazy, but.
So you brought this bigger board today. Normally, when you travel to overseas, will you take this board?
It all depends on the tour logistics. So if I'm, for example, with Snarky Puppy and we're traveling with a trailer, I'll bring this and put it in a flight case.
Okay.
Because then I'm not.
That Pelican's not flight case rated?
Oh, it is. Yeah, okay. That's what I mean. I'll put it in the Pelican.
Okay.
Put it in the Pelican, and it just stays in the truck. But my tour, we travel pretty light. In fact, I think we're pretty much just on trains this time, which actually is a really kind of a cool way to travel around.
That sounds
It's
awesome.
Actually very easy. I'd much rather. It adds. Well, maybe it all just kind of comes out in the wash as far as time spent traveling.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, with the trains, you literally just take a cab to the train station and get on the train and go.
Yeah, but you get to see countryside.
That's what I mean. It's really
cool.
Nice. And so, I mean,
not just clouds.
It's a longer physical journey, I guess, but you're not sitting at the airport for hours. You're not waiting on bags. You're not going through security. You're not doing all that. So, for those kinds of tours, I have.
Have you done that before? The train thing?
Yeah. It works out really well.
So, just assuming like one, like a guitar and one piece of luggage.
Yeah, basically? I bring a guitar and then maybe 2 bags. like a
Backpack
small
maybe or
bag.
something?
Yeah, like a small bag that can handle merch maybe, and then
good call.
a bigger suitcase that handles clothes and my travel pedal board.
That's your other board that we talked about
which is
earlier.
like the one that's on the cutting board. Yeah, so that's what I'll be bringing for this.
Did you build
time.
it yourself onto an actual cutting board?
Well, originally, yeah, and I wired it up and velcroed it all together, but it's been turned into a real cutting board by the same fellow that built this, Brian O'Million up at the Guitar Sanctuary. So he wires it up with nice cables and powers it properly, and
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Is this in support of the Deep 2?
Theoretically,
V2?
Yeah. I mean, we'll play songs off that record.
I mean, you do whatever you want during the
Sure.
shows.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, that we are touring.
You have a lot of material at this point to cover.
I have 6 albums, so if I go to a gig and play only the baritone music, then somebody will be like, well, "How come you didn't play something from Spark and Echo?"
Well, where's Catboy, bro?
There you go.
I need some slug bug up in here.
Yeah, well, we'll be playing all the quote unquote hits plus some of the new baritone album. So.
Well, the new baritone record, I think I even texted you when I first listened to it. My immediate the first thing I noticed was like sonically, it was like excellent through all the compression of the streaming and everything.
Cool.
And like the quality of the recording and the mix that was put on it like really came through. And that's not that your previous stuff didn't, but this specifically caught my ear.
It's a great sounding record.
Great.
Yeah.
And the music on it is great. All the playing is great. And it was all remote tracked, did you say? Or a lot of it was?
No, pretty much all of it. Yes, literally all of it.
Literally all of it.
I don't think there was a single song where 2 musicians were in the same room.
That's
at the same time.
That's
so.
Was it made during COVID?
Yeah, I did it all in October. Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lyndon McCarty, by the way.
There he is.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
He's there. I forgot to mention him. My apologies. He is there. Make yourself known, young man.
It's a me.
Did you use all Kemper for that?
Kemper and Neural DSP plugins, which I recently had acquired kind of just before making, well, really kind of when I was finishing writing all of it. It was funny. I had really planned on having the record done a lot sooner, but I was just kind of struggling with creative energy and just general life issues, and so stuff just didn't happen when I wanted it to happen. And
good on you for not trying to force it.
Well, so I just kind of just sort of exploded when it did.
Yeah.
Right around like August, September, I was like, oh my gosh, I have all these songs that I need to write, and so I just did. I wrote it everything, and then just began the tracking. So to answer your previous question, the neural stuff came to my doorstep around that time, and so I said, well, try it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great.
I haven't used it.
So I'm going to use it on some stuff.
I'm gonna have to check it out, man. I've heard of it, and I think again we texted about that.
Yeah.
But I specifically have not looked it up yet.
Yeah, 2 of the guitar. Well, I only played 4 guitar solos on the album, out of 10 songs, which is interesting for a guitar guy record.
Such restraint.
I know. Well, it's mostly rhythm guitar stuff, but yeah. So 2 of the solos are the neural, and then the other 2. Well, one is a Kemper, and then another one. The other amp that was kind of secret weapon was the Rev D20. I don't know if you ever checked out the Rev amp stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool. So yeah, it's a tube head that you can plug into a cabinet, or it has a speaker simulator load box deal in it, so you can just plug it
Right. Yeah. I went to a like an open house thing that they had here a while back.
Yeah, they're super cool guys.
Sean Tubbs is representing them.
Yeah, they got some serious players on their roster.
Another dude, a local dude that I know named Blake Hall, is actually the guy that turned me on to it.
Sweet.
It's like a Rev 20 or something.
Yeah, they make 2. There's like the G20 and then the D20. I think the G or something is like a higher gain thing, and then the D is more of a vintage. So I use the D20 for baritone and bass, actually, which is great as a bass amp. So, but yeah, there was no speaker cabinet harmed in the recording of this album, which is it's just the way that my home studio is set up, really. And
well, hey, it doesn't matter if it sounds good. It sounds good.
I've come to love the Kemper, and I think for the baritone music where everything, the arrangements are pretty dense. Yeah. So like I'm not relying on room sound all that much.
Yeah.
So I don't. If there is room sound, I leave it for like the drums, for example.
Sure.
But with guitar, with that kind of music, feels good if everything's just really kind of right here.
Absolutely.
Whereas, my other records, I put 2 big 60-watt cabinets and turn them all up and mic them 4 times and then spread the the spectrum with the room and all that. So you get, because that's the music calls for that, but the baritone stuff's a little bit different. So.
Well, it sounds really good.
Thanks, man.
At this point, this is something we're going to be working out.
Yoga.
Right. I was just thinking that. Are you still using? I'm sorry, I have just a quick question. Are you still using the Statesman?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a great amp.
We actually Chris Rodriguez was on a couple of weeks ago.
Cool.
You met Chris at the guitar show.
We jammed together, I think. Yeah.
He was talking about 65 amps, and you used to play for a minute and probably still have a pure 64 amp.
I still use that amp all the time.
And okay, well that's the one that was always my favorite amp that I heard you play.
Man, that's an incredible amp.
It sounds really good.
Yeah,
it really does.
That's a really cool rig.
Have you tracked anything with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the tone on everything on Spark and Echo and things of that nature has that amp involved in it somewhere. Those 2 records.
Those are also excellent sounding sonic records as well as.
Yeah, Spark and Echo was either a Naylor Dual 60 or a Pure 64. Sometimes both at the same time. Sometimes one of the other. I have this tune Montreal that's like a clean guitar ballad. That's the Pure 64.
Okay.
And then things of that nature is a combination of the Naylor, the Pure 64, and the Super Statesman's on a bunch of that too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that thing sounds great too. I don't know that I've ever seen you play anything but that Pure 64 live in the last couple. Well, obviously at the guitar show you're plugging into whatever's back there, but
yeah, it's a great. That's one of my favorite amps to use with my trio because it just sort of fits.
Big.
Yeah, it just fits the spectrum really well for a trio, and it works great with a quartet too. I don't use it much like for Snarky Puppy because it's a little too wide sounding.
Totally. Less focused. Kind
Yeah.
of.
So with Snarky, if they're in Dallas, I'll usually bring a Naylor, just because that's a very focused sounding amp. But then I tour with a Statesman with them, which is kind of the best of both worlds in a sense.
Sure. I can see that.
And then I've started using some PRS stuff lately too.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know which ones you're using?
Well, I can't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Well, I use their Sun's Era, which is a cool amp for smaller
I have
gigs.
a question.
Yeah. But the new thing I can't talk about yet.
Okay. That's fine.
But I'm excited about it.
Well,
which is why I mentioned it.
We'll certainly have you back to talk about it.
All right.
When that's a possibility.
It'll be out in a couple weeks, I think. I was told. So.
Well, hell yeah. So back to the PRS amps real quick. When he first started doing amps, if I'm not mistaken, he bought out Doug Sewell, who was an amp maker from like Fort Worth,
Texas,
or Dallas
somewhere
area.
Metroplex, yeah.
I've played many Sewells. I've never played any of the PRS amps. I've heard them sound great. Do you know if Doug Sewell is still involved?
Oh
in
yeah,
amp
Doug
design?
is the guy.
Okay, so he is still the guy.
He's the amp guy. You go up to PRS, there's a cave where Doug is the leader of the cave, and he's up there, and the team is up there building amps.
Okay, well that's awesome. Yeah. Because the guy who we're doing another podcast later tonight with Kurt Ozon, and he and I were kind of talking about, because I was asking him, he didn't know if Doug was still there or still involved, and I just remember that when that happened because it was from where we lived, or where you still live, and I lived at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're sessioning tomorrow.
Yep.
And how do you have pre-pro stuff? Do you know what you're going in to do?
Yes. Okay. There was demos. One of the tunes is a co-write with me, so pretty much. I mean, of course things will probably change when we get in there, but
sure.
I've got a fairly good idea of what I'm playing. Regular guitar on one tune, and then baritone guitar on the
And this is his solo thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his project.
It was Corey, right?
Yeah, Corey Wong.
Corey Wong.
Which I think I can. We already put it on his podcast, so I guess we could put it on this podcast. Okay. I don't know how many things are like secrets anymore or whatever, but
you gotta just keep a list. And
by the time this comes out, he puts out albums so fast, he'll probably put the album out before this podcast comes out. So
that's impressive.
Yes, it'll be fun.
So that's cool. Do do you guys tour like together, like your separate things? Have y'all done that?
Me and Corey?
Yeah.
No.
But have you done anything as Fearless Flyers?
Yeah,
Or just like a
not
couple of
a
shows
lot.
here and there?
Yeah, I mean, we've done a couple shows. We were supposed to have quite a few in 2020, but they all got canceled.
Obviously.
So that was the plan, was this to start doing that. So I think all of us would love to see it turn into a touring group of some magnitude. Apparently just today that we put out the live at Madison Square Garden, which was news to me until it came out today. So I hope it sounds good.
I'm sure it sounds just fine.
Well, yeah,
sure.
I don't know. I don't remember much about that night, but
surely they wouldn't put it out if it was just you over there clanking.
just root bending.
Just missed notes on guitar here.
There were a few. You can spot them. But for me,
how do you know? Did you listen to it?
I distinctly remember when a couple of clams. I was like, oh man, it's Madison Square Garden. I just biffed.
Man, was that
whatever.
the same show?
That makes it a real gig, though.
Exactly, it's a live
Was that the
gig.
same show where they featured Scott Mulvihill?
I don't believe Scott was there.
Okay, 'cause I don't know if you knew about that. You know Scott, right?
Yeah,
Rob?
for sure.
I know you know Scott, but like there was a YouTube video in Madison Square Garden, if I'm not mistaken, that was Wolfpack.
With Scott?
And it like one of the tracks was like featuring Scott Mulvihill.
His thing is like an acoustic synth.
If he was there,
right?
I didn't see him.
Which
like
I thought was
singer-songwriter
wild.
thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch. Maybe
Right,
he
and I
was
watched
there
the
and we
video,
just
but I don't
never-
remember seeing him in the video. But the track definitely said featuring Scott Mulvihill.
Oh, maybe it's a studio recording that they did with him and then played it. I don't know.
I also don't know.
Cool.
Interesting.
That'd be
Lots
awesome.
of things for listeners
I know,
to
we got
check
work
out
to- we got-
and
we got
viewers to
some-
check out.
Research to do.
Hell yeah, man. Well, so you brought your guitar. You got a new signature PRS.
Yeah, there it
Looks
is.
real cool.
Thank you, man.
Sugar Moon?
This is the color. Yeah, the Sugar Moon is the color of the Fiore.
I like it.
Is the model name. So
What does Fiore mean?
it is Italian for flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sugar Moon is a flower.
It is a species of rose. That is correct.
That's dope.
Yeah. So all of there's 3 colors and they're all named after different species of flowers.
Are all the woods the same on regardless?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are
And-
all swamp ash maple neck.
Okay.
So, I mean, assuming it performs well in the marketplace, maybe we'll bring more
Options.
going forward. Yeah.
Well, totally. That's cool. Was this something they approached you and you're like, how would you like to do
yeah.
this? Or was it something that you were thinking about?
No, they had approached me about over a year ago. It was like maybe kind of towards the end of 2019, and I had a relationship with them for a while.
Yeah.
Playing their guitars. I was using their 594
Okay.
model, the McCarty 594, which is that was kind of the guitar that converted me to PRS a little bit, just because I hadn't had much prior experience with them, but they sent that guitar over and I was like, this is an incredible instrument. And so
They're super well made, man.
oh yeah, and it just sounded really good. Like I sounded like me through one of those, which was like exciting to me.
A lot of people or not a lot of people, but I've heard people complain about the way they feel, and like I don't understand that. Yeah, it
Not
does
that
feel.
one.
It feels a little different. The 25-inch in between the
Yeah.
Fender and the Gibson scale, but anybody complaining about that to me is just like we're just trying to pick this apart. That's what we're
Sure.
doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, not everything can be a 52 Telly reissue.
Yeah, but even those, you might not like it. You never know.
Exactly. Have you ever played my PRS? My blue one?
I don't know if I had.
Man, you should totally lay
Okay.
I may force you to lay your mitts on it. And hear just I gutted the electronics. So
Oh,
it's
really?
not-
Okay.
yeah. I went through several sets of PRS pickups. I couldn't find one that did what I wanted. Ended up with the Kleins in there. And
Okay.
It's
Cool.
a humbuckery guitar, and it sounds great, and
There
it
you
plays
go.
like $1 million, and it is blue, which is dad rock
That's a
extraordinaire.
good color. It's a good. Yeah, we need to do a blue one. I think we'll do a blue Fiore at some point. I don't know what shade of blue, but
Violets are blue. I don't know if you
yeah,
knew that.
I mean like an aqua or something. I'm not sure. So.
Can we see this bad boy?
Yeah, sure.
Pick that sucker up, man. We can see it. We can hear it.
It's like it's a white-ish. It's not like Olympic white. But it was actually, we found a bunch of pictures of the Sugar Moon Rose, and then kind of like, the color team up there got all the RGB things together.
I don't know what that means.
Red, green, and blue.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so for the color palette. It's interesting. Right. I remember I was like going to Home Depot buying color swatches when I was trying to get the colors for the guitar. And we were comparing them to pictures of flowers.
Hands-on research, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I had because doing this, people might assume that it was just I sort of like showed up and like checked some boxes or something. And it was like, no, that was not it at all.
And why? That doesn't seem like you. You don't seem like a phone-it-in kind of a guy.
No, and if I'm gonna do the whole thing, I want to do it from the.
You want it to represent what you are about, and so you put your heart and soul into it when you built it with your bare hands.
Yes, I was in my garage just milling the wood. Anyway.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
I'm definitely going to copy and paste something out of that for a segue music.
Okay, sweet. It's funny.
You're a funky son of a gun.
Yeah.
I read a comment on a forum saying that somebody thought this guitar was not a funk guitar because it didn't look like a funk guitar. And I was like, is this where we've progressed as a society?
What does Gino always say?
Funk is no longer a language of music. It's a type of guitar.
Yeah, how does something look like something sounds?
Like, I don't know if you were around, and I wasn't around in the 80s, really, but pretty sure Jesse Johnson had a guitar with a Floyd Rose on it. And ain't nobody can tell Jesse Johnson he's not funky.
I just don't understand. Like, has anybody ever seen what those guitar players are playing? This is essentially an HSS electronics setup, right? It's a Strat. It's got the mill pickup. You get the out of phase
guitar
sound
with extra cool stuff.
Yeah. It's like
that sounds better.
So whoever that is, something that one of Gino's hashtags, come hear what music looks like or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good one though.
Come hear what this guitar looks like.
Right, come hear what this guitar. Exactly. So,
oh man, that guitar doesn't look like it sounds funky. I'm so
I don't
sorry.
Even know what that means.
I'm sorry to break that to you. I'm gonna post about it.
It's very strange. But
meanwhile, that person probably never even played one.
No, that's the thing. I don't think many people. Well, you can't because they're not around yet. You have to. Anyway, we're gonna go down a road that we probably shouldn't go down.
Okay.
Talking about YouTube comments, so let's not go there.
Fair enough. I have nothing.
We gotta
to say
wait till
about
there's more Victoria bottles.
I was actually
piled.
for the rest of the episode, I was hoping we could just pull up YouTube comments from your videos.
Live action analysis.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? For a minute, I actually screenshotted a bunch of them and put them into one picture.
Oh god.
And I was gonna post it on Instagram, but I never did. But I have it on I have it on my desktop, just waiting.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
Locked and loaded, if you will.
There's some good ones.
Oh man.
But of course, I blurred out everybody's names because I'm nice.
Well, that is very thoughtful.
Even though they weren't nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to them.
Yeah, but they know who they are, and they'll feel your scorn if you so choose.
Love it.
You are listening to the Gear and Beer Podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by Bobby Jam's Kitchen. Want to take your home cooking to the next level? Need new recipe ideas or meal inspiration? Like, follow, and subscribe to Bobby Jam's Kitchen on YouTube and Instagram. At Bobby Jam's Kitchen. Cook your food and eat it. I'm immediately noticing that.
Don't call me Shirley. What is that? Naked Gun
Yeah,
joke?
Naked Gun. 33 and a third.
Dude.
Yes, I'm serious, and stop calling me Shirley.
That's it. That's the one.
Speaking of dude, you got the dude off the board. I think for the first time ever, right?
Oh,
Or is it on the other board?
it is on the other board.
Oh, okay.
Man, I'm kind of,
It's a really loud pedal.
Dude, it's a desert island pedal, man.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this is it's similar. I think this
The
might
HRM
be
you're talking about, or yours?
The HRM.
Okay.
Is a slightly smoother sound than the dude, but I would use either one. I like this one currently.
Cool.
Isn't that how we all
We're talking
are
about
with
the
pedals?
Rocket HRM.
Yeah. It goes like this.
Hot rodeo monkey.
Hot
What is it?
Rubber monkey.
Hot rubber monkey.
And it does that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Does it still have the I know the dude has like a clean blend essentially.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
Well, the dude no, the dude doesn't have a clean blend.
Okay. I thought well, what is the ratio knob on the dude?
That's like a low end thing, I think.
Okay.
I feel like that's some kind of a low mid frequency adjuster.
Yeah, interesting.
This one just has volume gain, treble, and fat. I'm assuming fat is just sort of lows.
All these names for the knobs, it's like one thing means 8 different things depending on which company you buy it from. So each time you just have to like turn them until you figure out what's happening. I mean, I guess they tell you what it does in the manual, but when you're not smart, and I certainly am not that, you just turn stuff until it sounds right. That's my approach. I'm not even kidding. That's how I do it. So this is dry?
This is totally dry.
Just dry. So we're into the woolly coats and then into a greenback. Or no, it's a 212 through the aux.
We are. I can tell you.
This.
We
is a
are
JC
into a
120.
412 greenback.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Sounds really nice.
Does.
Okay,
It's not
so
a funk guitar though. It's not a funk guitar.
I was just about to say, that's obviously not
It's
a funk guitar, so maybe we should talk about
I don't know.
overdrive.
Should we play these funk riffs?
I
On a not
I really
funk
hope
guitar?
that we don't get pulled down
I know.
off of YouTube for that.
All right. What do we do? Yeah, we can talk overdrives. I like.
No, I want
overdrives.
to talk about your overdrive.
This one.
Because I have actually never gotten my hands on one yet. So that almost sounded very Nashville until you started playing cool notes.
What? Nashville has all the cool notes.
No, you better be diatonic, my bro. I kid. There's a half fake taboo about being a jazzer and not getting called.
Well,
to do stuff.
I don't think I'm a jazzer.
A jazz.
I just
they
play
would call
in
that
between-
jazz. They would
I-
call you a jazzer for that.
There are real jazzers here. There's one behind there's two guys in this room. that can
he's the
play
real
jazz.
one. I am what Wes
Way
Stevenson
beyond
calls
my
a
level.
really good musical liar.
Oh, well, I've made a career out of that. I think. I just play blues with frills,
Hey, man.
which is I think how Donald Fagen described Steely Dan at one. I was like, that's genius.
Yeah,
Because
man.
you take a song like Peg, which but it's got blues changes,
Yeah, that's true.
right? But these aren't really blues chords.
They're not. They are, Mark, but just with frills. I presume that Dad Rock is doing
We are.
some Peg and Josie, perhaps.
We haven't done Josie yet, but we will.
You are doing Peg.
I love that song. We are doing Peg, yeah.
I sang Josie downtown. I hadn't played, obviously, for the first time in years the other day.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
It's a great song and beautiful chord voicings.
Is it that or is it?
I think it's
know.
the voicing that he plays is the second one that you played. I
This
think that it sounds most. No, yeah, that one.
That works.
That sound like the piano voicing.
With the phase.
But obviously this is a guitar. Not stop, man. That is
Can't
not
play
a funk
Right,
guitar.
you're right. I'm sorry. All right. Okay.
Get control of yourself.
We got to collect ourselves. This podcast is going off the rails.
So
I've had half a beer.
well, we can change that.
It's also like 9 a.m, right?
Yeah.
It's 1:30.
I don't even know.
I don't
anymore.
know. It doesn't matter. Time
Time
escapes
is an
me these
illusion.
days. My schedule is just real stupid.
That's all right.
So when you designed this pedal,
Yeah. You talking about the melody?
yeah,
Yeah.
Your Sig
Right.
rocket pedal. Was this one of those situations where he was like, "Hey, do you want a pedal?" Or was this a situation where you're like, "I want this. Can you make it for me?" Because you were friends before that.
Yeah. It was both.
Both.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like, hey, one day we'll do a pedal for you kind of thing. And I was like, oh, great. Like,
And you started thinking then, like, what did you want it to
yeah.
be?
And we knew it was going to be an overdrive, but they kind of, a coincidence was that as we were talking a little bit more about it, they had just started fooling with these graphic EQ pedals.
I love
and they
the
had,
EQ
Yeah,
pedal
and so they
thing.
had done a compressor, and then they had done a version of their Archer called the Rockaway Archer, which was made for Steve Stevens from Billy Idol.
Interesting.
Let's see if I can. Come on, where's my foot? There it is. Wait. Anyway, so Steve Stevens got. I should get different shoes.
Well, it's
Or
too
I'm at
late
a
for
weird
that.
angle. Anyway, so they had done this Rockaway Archer, which the Archer is sort of a Klon type circuit, right? And so they'd done that with Steve, and said, well, hey, why don't we try the graphic EQ thing for your drive? And I had used their Blue Note pedal a whole bunch.
Yeah, I remember
and
you
I
used
was
that
like,
was on your board for the longest time.
right. So I was like, well, let's keep that around. And they're like, okay, cool. We just
You had like a V1.
yeah, I still
didn't
do.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine you didn't just throw it away.
Yeah. No.
You silly head.
And so they said, well, cool. We also have this other pedal called the Majestic, which I think has a little bit of that compression that you like in your overdrives because you've been using the Dude a whole lot. And so they kind of combine the circuits of all those sort of things with the EQ, and really kind of nailed it the first time. We changed a couple things with the gain amount. I think the first version had 250K pots in it,
Okay.
and this one has 500. So it's a pretty loud pedal,
Yeah.
but not, blow your head off
Sure.
loud. But it gives everything just a little bit more
A
body.
lot of Rocket's pedals are loud.
Yeah, they got
pedals.
some sauce,
The,
yeah.
the Archer and the Dude specifically
The
are
Dude,
very
yeah,
loud in my opinion.
Right.
I mean,
Especially
that's fine. It sounds great. But
Yeah. So
especially for tracking where
right.
the volume disparity between on and off means a little less.
right. And so I'll use the melody for melodies, rhythm guitar, all kinds of stuff. And
So it's not just a clever name.
nope.
Okay.
Well, it is a clever name.
It's not just a clever name.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, but I think I don't know. Maybe
got
we'll
layers,
do
Mark.
a V2 of it at some point.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
combine it with something else. I don't know.
So
I like dual pedals.
they're not marked on there. Obviously, the
It's low to high, low mids highs.
sure. Do you, is it not frequency
It
specific?
is. I just can't remember what they
Okay.
are.
Well,
off the top
that's
of my
fine.
head. Yeah, if you go to J Rocket,
I'm about to say that is easily accessed information.
J Rocket Audio has the bands. That
I
it
will
has.
do my best to provide a link to that if anybody's
Great.
very interested.
I always forget. That's the question everybody asks me. I'm like, it switches. I don't know. It's got sliders.
Well,
Rousing endorsement.
it wouldn't matter for me because even though I know what those numbers represent, I would still just move them up and down until I found what I liked.
Turns out that's how you adjust
A
the pedal.
caveman
Yeah.
approach to pedals.
What does it do? I don't know. Just turn until it does something you like.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
You can find cool stuff that way sometimes. You got to truly explore all the parameters.
That's right. I'm not a manual person.
I
Not really. I mean, if I
I
can,
will for power requirements, so I make sure
Sure.
I'm not
Well,
screwing
there's
something
that.
up there.
Yeah, good
but
point.
other than that, yeah,
Good point.
just experimentation. My current board is wired in a weird way just because I slapped it together and had a finite amount of cord that were
Right.
certain lengths. So it's like goes like this,
Yeah.
and so it's just real stupid. And things are not necessarily in the order I would have put them, but it's turned out to be cool because now the EQ is before a couple of the drives, and
Okay.
it totally changes the the drives that come after it.
Yeah.
Because I have just like similar to you, I like to stack, so I've got a bunch of lower overdrive stuff, and I'll pair them together depending on what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I really like that approach, even though it does require more real estate potentially.
Sure.
But hey, what's real estate anymore?
Right.
And well, the M5 is a little big, and the TC is a little big, but otherwise you've got some very reasonably sized pedals on this board.
Yeah, I mean it's not the world's biggest pedal board.
It's not, but it does a lot.
It does a lot. Yeah, and I sort of like, prior to having this build, I was using a Pedal Train PT2 forever, and so I told Brian, I said, look, everything's just got to fit on the PT2. I don't want to go any bigger than that. I don't, and so we did the little double tier thing.
You don't want a PT Pro? It's like bigger as
well,
this
I mean,
rug.
it's like, when you're flying, that case clocks in at under 50 pounds.
Oh, that's dope.
So, I mean, it's really funny, but you have to think about that. At least I do.
No,
I don't
you
have
totally
somebody-
do.
I don't have somebody like paying my baggage overage
Yeah.
fee. So
Screw that, man.
So I have to kind of keep it indie in that respect. So under 50 pounds. And, I get away with some, having the M5 on there. It does a couple different things.
So what?
So
You're in and out. What is the? I can't really see that. I'm not going to show everybody my bottom trying to figure it out. What? How is that? Is it wired under there?
I'm not sure. I think from the Hall of Fame it goes to the box, but the box is the first. It's simultaneously the first and last thing.
Okay.
Because it's buffered. If I want to turn the buffers on, I can have a buffer going in and I can have a buffer going out. So occasionally I'll turn the buffer on the way out if like there's a long cable involved or something. But right now it's nothing.
Okay.
It's sans buffer.
I assume you probably your other cord coming out of it is also a 90. We've got mine plugged in, but a 90-degree angle.
90-degree. Yeah, I believe so.
It's
It's
a little cleaner look and less likely to get
less likely
kicked.
for somebody to step on it. Yeah, right.
Which is
I've been involved in those debacles before.
man, I have
remember
broken
we
all
were on
kind
a
of
gig.
stuff.
We were doing a Snarky Puppy gig somewhere, and me and Bob Lanzetti were on the gig, and Bob was set up right behind Sean Martin, and Sean stepped backwards and stepped on his power supply, which was like a wall wart thing, and I don't know how many pedals it was powering, but it snapped the little. All of a sudden, Bob's whole rig went down, and I was just like, "Oh no!"
That's
So yeah,
brutal.
Stories of the road.
Was it reparable, or was
don't
he just
remember
down
what
for the
happened.
night?
I think he was
chilling with a cup of
several
tea.
of his things were down for the night, and I think we probably went to a Guitar Center the next day and got him a new one. But those things will happen, man.
Yeah, that sucks. And people always
Yeah, Sean, that sucks.
way to go, Sean. I have people. I said people always. People do not always make fun of the amount of stuff that I bring, but I often show up with, an extra bag full of oh shit parts.
Yeah.
Tubes, cords, fuses, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Man, I'm a walking Radio Shack at a gig.
dude. It's not a bad. thing
I've
to
had
do.
so many experiences and all the different things going wrong, and like,
I know.
there's nothing. I actually learned from Boo Massey, who used to carry around like some like rickety ass bag full of just patch cables and tubes and fuses,
yeah.
and like the caps for the backs of the fuses into the all the different
A
stuff
walking
that can
guitar tech.
well.
Yeah. There's
You'll
a lot of
learn
truth
the
to
hard
that.
way. At least
know.
I have.
I haven't graduated to carrying like tubes and amp parts, but I definitely bring spare cables, and I
Well-
usually always throw some kind of a backup power supply.
Well, and often you're not traveling with an amp unless you, like, even when you guys travel like in the continental U.S., you're usually flying out and using backline
Generally,
gear.
yeah. I mean, if we leave,
So that's on whoever the production.
I've definitely left tours in a van from my house and just brought one amp and hoped that it didn't catch fire. So
Sure,
I probably should have brought some tubes, but
Yeah, I'm about to say, bringing 2 amps is not necessarily the solution. Just as figuring
That's
it
the
out.
nice thing about a digital rig these days is like if I go on the road, I'm gonna take an amp and a digital rig in case the amp goes down. I'll just throw the HX Stomp or something at the end of the pedal board.
That works great
Into the
until
house.
it doesn't, because Rob had his Helix like on the fritz one night, and he was just like nursing it along, like certain patches stopped working,
Yeah.
and output started being weird. Like,
Well, I'm just saying as a backup for a real amp.
Oh, as a backup.
Yeah,
Copy.
exactly. It's a great backup, so you don't have to take 2 amps.
I thought you were saying you took that out so you didn't have to mess with the amp or it going down. The only the problem with the amp is if it goes down, it's 99% a tube, and with a digital rig, at least I have absolutely
I don't
recourse.
carry a microscope.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows how to fix those. I
Yeah.
don't think the people that made them know how to fix them.
I think they're
they
probably
just
designed that
put
way.
a new
so you
thing
get
in and just be like, yeah, we fixed it. Like, well, you just rebuilt, you just replaced the whole thing.
a little refurb.
Yeah, nobody knows.
That's dope, man. So, how long has that melody pedal been out? Like 3 years or 4 years
yeah,
now, right?
it's been out for a little while.
I'm gonna order one later.
Yeah, man, they're great.
It sounds really good.
I take it everywhere. Man.
It's got the an air to it
yeah,
that
it's
I
a real
like.
open sound.
Yeah,
it's not like a
open.
high gain thing. I mean, here, I'll dime the gain just for the heck of it. But
Yeah, let's do it, man. Do it, bro.
so this is all the way up, and I'll go full humbucker. I mean, it's not like
That's
wimpy, but
still not. For being dime, that's not super high gain.
so yeah, it's fine.
So what's this fuzz octave? Who makes that?
That's Jackson Audio.
Oh, that's another
And
Jackson.
they're a company out of Texas too, and this is a really cool pedal, man.
And that's the same as this Blossom, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
Where at in Texas?
you
know?
Flower Mound.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what's neat about this fuzz you can see the label says it's modular. So it comes with these they're like little circuit boards that you pop in and out, and each one is designed with a different fuzz sound.
Wild.
Is that an airplane?
No, it's your neighbor mowing his lawn.
Oh.
Great.
So
It's been going on for 20 minutes.
I've got it set kind of bright for now. Because I like to run it in front of the melody.
That's like add some serious natural compression to that. Sounds like.
And then it's got this other side, this octave side, which is cool because you can use it as
Just
an
the
octave fuzz, or you can turn the octave all the way off, and it actually almost acts as a clean boost. So it's like a little bit of hair.
That sounds great. That's my kind of pedal, just like a little bit,
Right.
you know.
So if
and
you
then
want to like,
stack a few
so
of
if you're
those.
playing like this sound or whatever. So it's just like a little lead boost.
That's cool.
So it's really flexible.
Oh, it's from the front side too, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. But so here.
So you're just adjusting the octave.
So now
blend.
it'll actually turn into a bit of an octave fuzz. You hear it?
Yes, I can. It is slight, but I can hear it.
So if you want to do that. So yeah.
And I don't, and like what y'all are hearing is exactly what he's playing. I don't do anything to guitar audio in post. I just
Okay, I might punch that last lick in.
cool. Yeah, no, we'll punch you wherever.
Got you gridded, man.
Yeah, thank you.
But what you're hearing is what we're hearing. That bus compression, maybe, but
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's not the whole rig, but
no, that's it.
fair
All right.
amount of it.
See, until next
All right,
time.
bye.
So I haven't heard you turn on this wah rocker yet. And
Okay.
I would like to hear that because I don't know what that is.
Don't really know where it's set. It's an envelope filter, and so it does the envelope filter thing.
That's weird. Excuse me, sir. That's not a funk guitar. So this has live. There's a blend switch, so you've got like actual. Can you take?
So yeah,
You can take the dry out and make it just the filter. That's
can,
interesting.
but I like it better like this.
No, I'm sure.
Here it is.
Obviously, you have it set that way for a reason.
Yeah. So it kind of does that syrupy sort of thing, but you
Yeah.
lose some of the volume.
Totally.
Super percussive.
It's really cool, and I've got the I don't know what half these things do. I'll just I don't know how these things work. So here's everything at noon. So I gotta play a little harder now.
Interesting.
Turn the threshold up. I think that should probably.
Relax the sensitivity. Oh, that changed the filter.
Did a lot, didn't it? Let's put it back to where it was.
Keeps it from opening too easily.
Yeah,
The way you
but
said
then
it.
you know you
Sounds
throw
better.
a blend on there.
That sounds like Mark Lettieri to me.
I don't know. It sounds like a wall rocker, I guess. But these are cool, and you know it's funny. I think I've bought like a couple different ones of the same model,
And they sound different.
and they do. But this is my favorite one. I have like they used to have there was like the WR2 I had, then I got a
Oh, so
WR3.
like they have a couple of different versions of the same.
Well, the
pedal?
original one was like and they're all little and purple. But the original one I think just had 2 knobs maybe, and I bought one of those. I think I have all 3 of them actually now. I should just turn them all on.
I've seen the shelf behind you in your Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't really actually use it that much, but it's just kind of one of those things where if I just want it, I'm glad I have it.
Totally.
You know, so like it doesn't get as much use as maybe like the Phase 90 or like the delays or something. But
Sure. Do you use the Phase 90 a lot?
yeah, very much so. Excuse me. And I sort of set it. Like occasionally I do like the slow phase kind of lead stuff, but I prefer it for the funk, rhythm
Sure.
stuff. This is a really killer.
Sounds
and of course,
great.
We got the Eddie. Gotta have the Eddie Van Halen stuff.
Yeah.
But I leave it on the script setting. Do the. Oops. I don't think that's totally how you're supposed to play that song, but
Doesn't matter.
close enough. So yeah,
Sounds
I've had a
close
Phase
enough.
90 on my board forever. Some kind of Phase 90.
I've never used one at all.
They're great. It's just
I don't think I've used a single pedal on here.
really not even
no,
a carbon copy.
I
I
have
thought
a
everyone
monument.
had a carbon copy.
I have a monument,
Okay,
but mine is the
that's nice. The monument's nice.
the bigger footprint version. I want that one.
Is the Monument the one that's harmonic?
Yeah, it does the
Harmonic tremolo?
harmonic or the regular.
Oh,
sound.
okay,
It does
okay.
both.
Yeah.
Right on.
This is the normal.
If I need a phase sound, I usually switch it to the harmonic trim and slow it down. That's
That's a cool idea.
kind of what I've been doing.
I've never done that.
Like
before.
if I need a wailing sound or something.
Oh, okay.
Out of curiosity, what pickups are in that PRS?
These are proprietary to the guitar. We designed
Oh.
these to go with the guitar, so we just called them the Fiore pickups.
Okay.
I took enough energy to name a guitar, and then it was like, well, can you name the pickups? And I was like, I don't think I can. Like, how about Fiore single, Fiore humbucker? Like, great. So worked for me. It makes sense to me.
Stays on brand.
Not too many names floating around, so.
Are the middle and the neck the same pickup?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
So we should maybe talk about the switching because it's
yes.
created quite a stir amongst the
amongst
Paul-
the funk connoisseurs.
I don't know. Whatever. We can move past that. What's neat about this is
I'm sorry, is that an instruction?
No, let's bring it up like 5 more times.
So I have an old Strat that I had modded to get some kind of funky wiring done to it, and so it's not. I wouldn't say this is like an uncommon thing, but maybe you don't see it that much. But anyway, so we have our neck pickup. So in this, when everything's looks like a guitar. It's in the regular old position, right? But when it gets interesting is when you pull this up.
Oh.
So this is a push-pull switch, and what this does in positions 1, or I guess is this 5 or 1? I don't ever know.
I always call it 5.
Yeah, I think it's they consider it 5 by schematics anyway.
So in 5 and 1, what we have here is a combination of the neck and the bridge pickup. So you get this kind of cool.
Out of phase kind of a sound.
Well, not really out of phase. It's just a combination of these two pickups, so it's almost like a telly. A little bit. And so then what that means now is in positions 2 and 4, it's a combination of all 3. So check that out versus...
That's more booty. That's.
I think the mid-range character just a little
Yeah, I was about to say.
So then, say I'm back in position... Well, okay, we'll do this. So position 1 now. Put this back to normal. This is full humbucker. Now, series parallel. You get a little more twang in there, right? Now, what you can do is do both of them. So now you've got this one and this one in series or split. It's not split. I can never remember if it's series or parallel. So now you have the difference between these two sounds.
Okay. So you really got some as Wes Stevenson would say, you got some junk built into this thing.
So now you have all 3, but this as series parallel. So you're getting a lot of different combinations, and it's sort of all affecting the mids and the lows and the highs. And so I like that.
Yeah,
Like
sounds really cool. It's all the different possibilities.
They're all usable. Like, it's not, to me, I didn't want to have the guitar do 100 things all at like 50%. I wanted them to all have like totally applicable.
Why have it if it's not usable?
I mean, well, who are we talking to?
Oh, Octron.
This is a fun pedal.
Is the bit crusher sound coming, or the what they call it, zipper fuzz coming from that?
It is sort of a bit crushed-esque thing. It's just an octave up. Who needs 2 octave pedals? I do apparently. Yuck. Maybe not that sound, but
I don't know. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun times.
I like that. So,
where were we?
We're talking about these old pickups over here and all of your super complicated wiring.
It's not that complicated.
It's not complicated.
It takes about a minute to get used to it.
Sure.
So.
But the fact that it does all those things is cool. It's like Sting. I don't listen to his music, but the fact that he's making it, I appreciate that.
It's a very strange opinion.
It's not an opinion.
The fact that he makes music, I appreciate.
That was a Royal Tenenbaums quote.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I never saw that movie.
Oh, well.
Great movie.
I hated it until I watched it. Everyone told me how great it was. I hated it, but I kept watching it. I was like, what am I missing? And then eventually, it sank in.
Okay.
And now I think it's hilarious.
All right, cool.
Everyone else loves it.
Yeah.
Anyway, pickups.
No.
So, do you know off the top of your head the output on these pickups by chance? They don't sound super high.
No,
they don't sound super low either.
6-ish, 8-ish.
Oh, 8-ish. Okay,
maybe
that's dope.
7. Totally pulling those numbers. That was that. Those are that. We had a lot of conversations about pickups in the guitar, and Paul would talk to me in technical terms, and I would come back with like, well, it needs to feel like this, or feel like an oval and less like a rectangle, and he'd be like, okay, I know what that means. We need to do. And it was really crazy because we'd be on the phone, and then I could hear him be like, yeah, 2 more spools of this wire, and then change the magnet to do this, and then 6K on this and 10K on that'll get you your oval.
So Paul is still doing all the pickup design, or doing he's hands on.
Well, yeah, I mean he's
hands on with all the schematics, but I didn't know.
Yeah, but that was really fun because so much of that technical knowledge just
it seems like such a big company that he wouldn't still have his hands in all that stuff. I know that he does because I know of him through the Dallas Guitar Show for years.
I mean, you know, he's as boutique of a.
He's got a dad
guy.
rock band, except they're not as specific about their time window.
Oh, well, no, I mean he's hands on with everything. I mean, but that's what you want with a guitar.
Absolutely,
building a guitar with.
It's remarkable that he can do that again with all the different irons that PRS has in the fire.
Yeah.
Now with I guess he does with the amps, he can just kind of like let Doug do his thing because that's.
Yeah, I mean, but you know,
I'm sure he's got input on it.
Has a lot of input on it. Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the whole inner workings of everything.
Sure.
But from my experience, you know, he knows what's going on.
Well, by all accounts,
yeah, definitely.
Which is cool, and the quality of the product reflects that. In my
Totally,
opinion.
man. Yeah.
You see,
I mean,
people,
I guess name a bigger guitar company that's come around in the last 30 years.
You can't.
No.
The only one that's even close, I would say, is probably Sir, but they're not at that scale at all.
Yeah, I mean, you know, PRS is it's sort of like there's like Fender, Gibson, PRS, and Ibanez. Like those are the four. It's kind of like, you know, the big four of thrash metal. It's like Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer.
Megadeth is considered thrash metal?
I think so. At the time they were.
I guess it
thrash
would have
metal.
to be.
Yeah.
I don't think of that as thrash metal. Early Metallica sounds like thrash metal. Early Megadeth sounds way smarter.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, it was definitely thrash.
I always thought of it as thrash.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna put it under an umbrella, it would definitely be the thrash metal umbrella.
I just thought of it as
What
cooler
would you put it
thrash.
I don't know. That's the problem.
Because it's not.
I would just call it metal before subgenre was.
Okay.
Hey, this is metal. We only speak in subgenres.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of metal.
I once was in a
Blackened
band that someone
Norwegian
called
death
Southern
barbecue
Sludge
metal.
Core. Did you know
Perfect.
that was one?
Yeah, I know. You told me about it. You guys wore jorts.
No, that's kind of true.
Yeah, it was true.
That
Overalls.
was one of the worst things I've ever done.
It's on
Oh,
YouTube.
I beg to differ.
Well, you can shut up.
There are recordings, I'm sure.
Oh, there are. You know what? You will not find linked in this any of that.
One of us will post it in the comments.
Oh, great. Look forward to that.
Oh my gosh.
A final thought about Megadeth is
Okay.
I guess I don't know, but I would say that they're closer, and to my ear, they are closer to like melodic death metal than they are thrash metal to me.
No. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Lettieri. This is Robert Miller. Gear and Beer.
We're going to go.
If you don't end the segment right now, that's the best way to end the show. Just like that.
We're done. Lyndon McCarty twisting and tweaking. Megadeth is melodic death metal.
No, they are not. Never have been, never will be.
I'm not saying they are. I'm saying they were closer to that than to thrash metal. To me.
I got some.
You just got us pulled from
somewhere to
YouTube,
be.
man.
Yeah.
I didn't get anybody pulled from
Unbelievable.
anything. You guys are pulling my chain right now.
Nope.
Dave Mustaine for president, anyone? I mean, I'm a big Megadeth fan.
Yeah, I think they're awesome.
I'm a big fan.
But you know what they're not is melodic death metal.
They're not.
They're thrash.
I just don't guess I understand what makes something thrash if that's the case, which is very likely that I don't understand. That is typically the case.
Thrash is kind of like what happened when you got like Iron Maiden but started playing it faster with more distortion. And not as screamy vocals.
Not as?
No, I mean kind of, but I mean
I think screamy.
There's definitely a link between the way like
Kill 'Em All. That
it's screamy, but it's not like vocal prowess.
there's a note.
Singer hero type.
Sure.
Bruce Dickinson thing. Not it doesn't have the soaring quality.
King Diamond quality.
Yeah, but it's not guttural, the growling like you get in death metal.
Not Glenn what's his face from Deicide? Glenn Belton.
Yeah, the guys that do like the grunting and the death.
See, I love
growls
all
and
that stuff too.
Where they like breathe inward and it's I don't know how they do that.
Oh yeah, man.
The show open that I'm trying to create for this show, I'm waiting on some growls from a buddy. So I'm excited about that.
Did you write the
You
lyrics?
probably get them on Fiverr
Yes,
or
they're
something.
gear and beer.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome. And the guy that I'm getting to do it, he's like a friend from back home. But his gig is he does all the music for like Quake and all the new Dooms and
All
stuff.
the video games. Wow.
Yeah, he's
Sweet.
in that world. It's just a crazy niche music job, really.
Okay.
To like, in my opinion, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
To make a living doing something like that. If you had told 12-year-old me something like that, I don't know.
I'd love to do video game music.
I think it would be awesome.
Half the time, people say my stuff sounds like video game music anyway, so it's like
I don't agree with that. It just sounds like music. It just sounds like sultry music.
Sultry. Okay, that's an adjective that is not.
I
never been
tend
used
to use that
describe my stuff, but
incorrectly and often.
I get it. All right. Yeah, kind of like the way you describe Megadeth.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
There's a pattern here.
I just want you both to know that I don't care what you think about me.
All right.
Okay, so
subscriber
we've
base is
covered all the
dwindling.
basics here. We've covered all the stuff on your pedal board for the most part, and we've talked about your badass new guitar. I don't have anything else to bother you
I'm
about,
done.
man.
Yeah, I'm done talking to you. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Okay, well then
Take
that's
another one of these with no lime, please. No, I'm just kidding. This one
there's
actually, I know,
there's
that
no
was-
lime in that one.
What'd you say last time? Security! Can I get a beer?
Security, we need a beer.
Train your dog to bring you some beer up here.
Man,
yeah.
I would love to train him to do just about anything.
Taxes.
Aside from be really cute.
Yeah, he's got cute game on fleek, as they say, but that's about it.
Nice.
Okay, well, I really appreciate you taking the time to
Yeah,
come
dude.
by.
Of course, always good to hang, man.
Indeed, I saw you in consecutive months for the first time in probably
I know.
since I lived in Dallas. So,
Yeah, right.
that was cool.
I think the last time I was here was right before the pandemic.
Yeah,
When-
at the City
yeah.
Winery show.
Yep, I came the day before we played. That's right.
We hung with
We had
Ford,
tacos.
Yeah, Ford, and who
Matt-
else was here?
Matt Mitchell.
Butler, I think. Or
Matt Mitchell was here.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
Ford, yeah.
yeah. That was the first time I'd met. Is that it? That it was it, wasn't it?
no, Butler wasn't there.
Yeah, Butler wasn't
Yeah.
there, was he? Man, anyway.
Cool.
Sucks to be him. He missed out on all of that fun. This space was completely different, and
I know. I think your
not
computer
nearly
was
as
over
conducive.
there, right? Yeah.
It was over there, and it was like just everything was way worse than it is now. And it's not great now, but it was way worse then.
It's better.
So thank you to Mark Lettieri,
Thanks for having me,
Lyndon
Rob.
McCarty, Twisted and Tweaking.
Yep.
I'm Robert Miller, Gear and Beer.
Hey,
The follows and the subscribes. We'll link everybody's everything.
Victoria, thank you for sponsoring this.
Yeah, check out
Maybe.
Deep Volume 2, the Baritone Sessions, Mark's latest record. If you live in Italy, buy your tickets if they're available.
There you go. Yeah, I'll be announcing everything very shortly. So,
Okay, well, stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for more Gear and Beer. We'll see you next time.
peace.
Thank you for listening to the Gear and Beer Podcast. Make sure and subscribe and turn on notifications for our channels, and if you haven't already, follow our Instagram and YouTube channels. We truly appreciate your support and ask that you please tell anyone you know whom you think might be interested in our podcast about gear and beer to help us grow and continue bringing in great guests from around the industry and beyond. Thanks again, and until the next episode.